Ministry News is about now bringing you latest and current affairs across federal ministries, agencies, and parastatals on Ministry News. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has said the establishment of the Nigeria-Saudi Arabia Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture will deepen the relations between the two countries beyond diplomatic ties to commerce and industry. The minister made the remark in Abuja on Thursday when he received the president of the newly established chamber, Engineer Ibrahim Usman, on a courtesy visit. Alhaji Lai Mohammed described the chamber as a clearinghouse for proposals in order to open new vistas for trade opportunities. He, however, congratulated Engineer Usman for his doggedness in making the establishment of the chambers a reality.
It becomes not just a platform, but also a clearinghouse for proposals from Nigerian businessmen and Saudi businessmen wanting to do business with one another.
The federal government has declared Monday, 10th of October 2022 as public holiday to mark this year's Eid al-Maulud celebration in commemoration of the birth of the Prophet Muhammad. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, who made this declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated all Muslims, both at home and in diaspora, for witnessing this year's occasion. He admonished all Nigerians to imbibe the spirit of love, patience, tolerance, and perseverance, which are deep spiritual virtues and which the Prophet Muhammad exemplified, adding that doing so will guarantee peace, security, and harmony in the country. The Minister of Transportation, Muazu Jaji Sambo, recently visited the headquarters of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA in Apapa, Lagos, vowing to break the jinx surrounding the non-disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, CVFF. The minister also commended the management of NIMASA for its capacity development initiative and for remaining focused in the delivery of its mandate. On his part, the DG NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamal, thanked the minister for his dynamic leadership in steering the affairs of the ministry, while also assuring that the agency remains committed to actualizing its mandate as stipulated in the 4 enabling acts of the National Assembly for a robust and attractive maritime sector in Nigeria.
I must acknowledge the fact that NIMASA of today has come a long way from the NIMASA that I knew 10 years ago. I would like to commend you and your management team and your staff, because success is dependent upon teamwork. NIMASA is supposed to be one of the most critical agencies in this country that should support the treasury. But what I can't find online is what this agency is doing in terms of revenue generation.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Pantami, has stressed the importance of legislations that will ensure the protection and confidentiality of citizens' data in the country. The minister made this known at the National Validation Workshop on Data Protection Bill organized by Nigeria Digital Identification for Development Project ID4D and Nigeria Data Protection Bureau NDPB in Abuja. He said that it was part of the federal government's responsibility to protect the lives and property of Nigeria and Nigerians. According to him, the ministry is working hard with critical legislation on data protection before the end of this year.
The theme of this year is very relevant and also very apt to what we have been doing in Nigeria. For example, artificial intelligence, which is part of the disruptive technologies. And disruptive technologies are driving the fourth industrial revolution. Not only driving AI by implication in the next 20 years. When it comes to cybersecurity, we have so many initiatives like CSAT, like SAT, and many more. CSAT is a cybersecurity intelligence and response team. We have computer emergency response and readiness team. All this is to promote the cybersecurity and to ensure that our cyberspace is safe.
The federal government says Nigeria will need 1 trillion naira to cater for the health of vulnerable citizens across the country through the Basic Health Care Provision Fund. Dr. Chris Osokunwu, who is the Secretary of the Ministerial Oversight Committee for BHCPF, Federal Ministry of Health, said this in Abuja at the Nigeria Health Commissioners Forum with the theme Financing Primary Health Care in Nigeria, Expanding the Frontiers of the Sub-National. He noted that the money would also enable the country to provide universal health coverage to vulnerable citizens. The Minister of Water Resources, Mr. Sulaiman Adamu, has pledged his commitment towards full passage of the National Water Resources Bill into law. The minister, who stated this during a media chat in Abuja, noted that the bill will benefit the entire citizenry. He, however, expressed displeasure over the position of antagonists of the bill, giving a different coloration, saying that outright call for the bill to be thrown out was against water resources development. The Minister of Resources further stressed that his ministry had debunked all arguments against the bill through routine, continuous media rounds, saying that the next step was to await another public hearing if need be.
This bill went through so many things, including a review by a senior advocate of Nigeria, who is one of the leading legal experts on environmental law. 80% of the fresh waters of this country, they flow from north to south into the Atlantic. If you don't have this kind of protection for the downstream end, what will happen? If states like Kebbi, where River Niger comes in, or Adamawa, where River Benue flows in, decide to control the water at that point, what will happen to all the downstream communities? That is why, since independence, our constitution has made it that the water that flows across interstate or interregional boundaries, as it were at that time, should be, responsibility for that should be vested in the federal government.
The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has sealed 2 Chinese companies in Akwa Ibom State for non-payment of revenue to the federal government and for obstructing officers of the ministry from verifying their weighbridge. The 2 companies were sealed by the Legal Metallurgy, Weights and Measures Department of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment on September 30, 2022. Deputy Director, Legal Metallurgy Engineer Ibrahim Issa, who issued a release on Tuesday in Calabar, said the 2 companies, China Road and Bridge Construction Company Limited and Wischino Engineering Limited, violated Item 65 of the Nigerian Constitution on the exclusive list. And finally, on ministry news, the federal government has invited applications from suitable qualified students studying education courses in universities and colleges of education. In a press statement issued on Monday by the Permanent Secretary in the Federal Ministry of Education, Andrew David Adejo, the government said application forms are now available online at www.education.gov.ng, while the deadline for submission of application is October 21, 2022. It said the eligibility criteria for the bursary award includes applicants studying education in Nigerian colleges of education and universities, and applicants must be full-time students.